All right. Happy Monday. We'll give everybody a minute or two to pop on and get ourselves situated here. Melissa said, sounds good. Excellent. If you're watching on a replay, let me know in the comments, hashtag replay. Also, as a reminder, if you're watching this on Facebook and there seems to be some sort of glitch or problem, you can watch it on YouTube. Same goes if you're watching on YouTube, you can always jump over and watch it on Facebook. We try to keep an eye on comments on both places. So we'll see. How well we do with it. Morning, Cindy. Good morning. Hi, Cindy. Holly. Sarah. Hi. Shar. Brenda. Excellent. I missed everybody. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people in the last couple of weeks, but I haven't done this in 2 weeks. So hi, Terry. What's everybody working on? Tell me what you're working on. Tell me if you yarn crawled for the Heartland Yarn Adventure, if you found anything cool, something interesting at a different shop, or if you found out that you like other shops but really love our shop a lot more, you could tell us that too. Let's see what else. Sue, hi Sue. Nicole working on your summer sorrel. Liz, you'll be here Wednesday. Excellent. Hello, Mama. Jill, hi. Oh, good. We got all kinds of people. Loving it, loving it. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, I apologize if the color seems to be a little wonky. My camera keeps, it can't decide what colors it wants, and I keep shifting where I'm sitting to see if that makes a difference, and I can't tell. It's got a mind of its own, so I apologize. Hi, Aunt Jackie. Oh, Brenda, thank you. Brenda says she loves mine the most. John said, tell you I'm working at trying to remember how to put the padding back on the car seat. Oh, that sounds like there might have been an accident that needed to be washed. Joyce working on your pressed flower socks. Awesome. And giggle water shawl. Melissa, yes, that counts. Working, Mary working on your Marcelo sweater. Bonnie is working on her Ginger Bliss cardi. Oh, good. All kinds of good projects. So Joyce mentioned pressed flowers. We'll talk about that series of patterns in a little bit because I do have that on my list of things to talk about. Sarah was knitting in the Hinterland sleeve at the Franken with Eagles tribute concert. I saw that Sarah's husband, Rick, commented that he saw the Eagles 30 years ago and there was no knitting then. I'm willing to bet there probably was. He just wasn't conditioned to be looking for it. I was going to put that comment on Facebook, but I decided against it. Oh, and Linda's on YouTube. Awesome. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so I got going a little bit late, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is August 5th. Happy August, you guys. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Shop hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday evenings, Deb has drop-in help while we are here in the shop going live up in the front lobby from 6:30 to 8:30. Deb and Ashley host drop-in knitting help. So if you ever need help with a project, either something that's from the shop or from something that's not from the shop, Monday evenings are a great time to do that. They are starting to work on a project called Pressed Flowers. Monday evenings, I think a few of them are going to be getting together to work on that as well. So that's further down my notes, so I'll get to that. Thursday evenings are social knitting, crocheting times, I would say starting at 6 o'clock-ish, going till 9 or 10 or whenever the girls decide that. It's usually girls, but could be girls and guys decide that they are ready to check in for the night and be done. Okay, so before we get too far into things, I have a little announcement to make. We have to do a little bit of congratulations for our Melissa. Many of you have met Melissa in person. She's that Melissa. If you've met her, you're like, oh, that's that, you're that Melissa. Melissa is our behind the scenes girl. She's my right hand woman helping me with all sorts of things. And in the past week, she has gotten engaged. So shout out to big congratulations to Melissa and Tim on their engagement. We're very excited for them. There are some members of her family that don't know yet, so she hasn't made it like Facebook official out in the world, but we know. And I got her permission to share it with you all before before I decided to just share it. So very, very happy for both of them. And we're excited for moving forward, what that means for her and for Tim. And she's in her new place and working remotely, helping me out while she unpacks and everything. So she's got a lot going on in her life right now. But yes, yes, yes. Everybody says congrats. I love it. We love her. Oh, Sarah, I'm gonna have to ask you how to pronounce that because Auguri, congrats in Italian. I get that it's in Italian, but I don't think I pronounced it right. Yes, yes, good. Everybody's so happy for you, Melissa. I love it. Okay, so back to regular scheduled programming. Auguri. Okay, there we go. Got it. So what's going on? At the end of our live today, I will be doing the drawing for the 4 prizes from the Heartland Yarn Adventure entries. We had a ton of entries, tons of visitors through this time, which is awesome. I was very pleasantly surprised to see people from out of state and all over the place. So yeah, toward the end, we will be drawing for that. If you have to pop off for some reason, you can't stay, if you get kicked off, these recordings do stay on Facebook and YouTube, so you can always go back and look at them again. There should be like a live tab on both Facebook and YouTube for those. So what am I working on? I am working on the typo top. So 2 weeks ago, when I showed off our indecision dice that we have, Melissa had the great idea for me to roll the dice to figure out what 2 colors I should do for my top. So this is what the little tank top looks like. So it's written in a way that's top down. You can do all 6 different stitch patterns, or like she shows on this one here, you could do 1 stitch pattern in different colors. Lots of different options. Because it's top down, you could choose to make it longer if you want. My initial plan is to make it longer, but I'm knitting fingering weight yarn on size 3 needles, so I might get bored pretty quickly with it, and it might end up being a crop top. So the dice chose the colors, and the dice chose brown and yellow. So I did pull brown and yellow from the bamboo pop sock bins, and it's kind of a cool taupey color. And so I swatched with, oh, where's my swatch? There it is. I swatched with both as the main color because I really thought I was going to do yellow as the main color and the brown or the taupe color as a contrast. So I did that, and you can see the stitch pattern fairly decently. It's kind of slip stitches, so it's not a real defined pattern anyway. But then when I swatched with the colors the opposite way, it really seemed to pop. So it's the beauty of swatching. I did swatch on 2 different size needles while I was doing this, so I could, have a multi-function swatch. So what I ended up with is a taupe top with all kinds of fun little stitch patterns in it. I just finished the 6th of the stitch patterns, and none of it is stranded color work. It's all either knits or purls or mosaic knits and slips. So like this first one and the third one and Yeah, the first one and the third one are just alternating knits and purls. And the way you do that, you get these fun little lines. The rest of them are kind of like a knit one, slip one. No, I lied. This one is knits and purls. That one might be a slipped one. Anyways, I really like it, the way it's turned out. This one might not have been, so this is the stitch design that I used with my yellow, and it might explain why it looked a little muddied because that one is probably the least defined of them, but I still really like the taupe with the yellow as the accent color. It's an interesting construction. It has you start with a provisional cast on at the top of the shoulder. My initial thought would have been that you start with the provisional cast on at the shoulder, knit one piece, go back, pick it up and knit down the other direction, but that's not what she has you do. She actually has you do all four pieces. The pink is my provisional cast on. So all four pieces are separate. Her philosophy behind that is if you need to shorten or lengthen your straps after the top is done, this is easy to do because you're going to take that provisional cast on off. You can add rows if you need to. You can take rows off if you need to, and then do a 3-needle bind off, which gives it a little bit more stability than if you were to just have picked up that provisional cast on and knit down. Right now mine are tied up because it looked a little bit like cow udders when when I was knitting with it. Still does a little bit. But she does say once you get past the point of the stranding, you can always put it on, which is probably what I'll do tomorrow. Put it on purl strings, try it on and see if I can finish these shoulder straps, get that provisional cast on off of there. But now I'm just on to the one color, knitting away. I'm using Bamboo Pop sock. I probably will have to go into a second ball of my taupe. I don't have a ton of it left. These have 490 yards and it says I need like 510. So, we shall see. Might be one more reason I end up with a crop top. She does suggest you can use your, contrast color if you want to pick up, because there is an I-cord edging that you do on the armholes and the neck. She suggests you could do that in the contrast color if you want, which I may do depending on where things land with this yarn. But the pop sock has great yardage, even for the largest size. Let me double check before I just start talking about things. Finished bust. So the bust goes from 29 up to 59. I am doing the 4th size, so I'm doing a 36-inch bust for this one. And yardage, where's my yardage? Main color, max was 1,030 yards. Contrast color max is 145. So no matter what size you did of the top, you only need one ball of your contrast color. The other way you could have, how do I want to say that? Extend how far your main color goes is if you did more repeats of the pattern. If you're looking at this, if you kept going with more repeats with the contrast color, you'd use more of your contrast color and less of your main color. So you could probably get it to go a little bit further. I would maybe do that with those in between sizes. Could change the back like that, like a cross back. Maybe. You probably could if you knit. Melissa's asking if you could turn this into more like a crisscross back, since the straps are all individual like that. You'd obviously have to make them a little bit longer, but you could, and that would probably be really cute too. I don't know. I might play around with that a little bit. We'll see. Because there is no real front or back shaping to it, I'm curious to know if that would work or if it would kind of gather the fabric weirdly in the back. Maybe I'll play around with that. We'll see. So for the few in between sizes, like the size that I'm doing, and then the largest size where it looks like if you used this bamboo pop sock, and the largest size, like I said, calls for 1,040 yards, and these would give you 980 yards. Maybe adding a few more stitch pattern repeats would extend the life of that yarn just enough so you wouldn't have to go into a third ball of your main color, but still, um, 3 balls plus a contrast color is a pretty reasonable amount for a size 60 top, tank top. So that's what I've been working on. I have made a little bit of progress on it. Obviously, I rolled the dice for it 2 weeks ago, and now I've gotten through the color work portion of it. I am wearing the slipping sideways top, which is another fingering weight top, and I've got some new yarns to talk about tonight, and that's one of the reasons I wore this, because I think one of the yarns we got would be absolutely perfect for it. And I've had it here sitting at the table, and people have seen it and kind of oohed and awed over it. And I'm hoping somebody buys the yarn and makes the top so I can see it. Because as much as I really want to, I don't know if I can make the same thing twice. But I do love this top, and I would consider making another one. So the slipping sideways top is a fun one. It looks great on all different bodies. We've had quite a few people make it here, and it's really flattering to a lot of people. You knit the front and back center panels first. So you knit the front and back center panels first. Those are the same for the most part. There is some neck shaping, so it's higher in the back and lower in the front. And then you pick up and knit the sides. You pick up all along the front and the back, and so you're doing your sides back and forth until you get to the sleeves. So you can see there's a little bit of a different stitch pattern along the sleeve cap here. But it takes 2 colors of fingering weight yarn. I used the green is just a Heritage, Cascade Heritage solid, and then the variegated is a Heritage hand paints. So when I talk about the new yarn that I have here in a little bit, you'll see what I mean and what I think. I feel like I need a brighter version of this. So it might end up going on the needles once I'm done with my typo top. We'll see. I should force myself to work on my cabled coat, but I don't want to right now. I'm just as bad as you all are with some of this stuff. So that's what I'm wearing. The slipping sideways, it goes from a 30-inch to a 60-inch bust. So again, the yardage is really great on this. For the largest size, you would need 3 of your main color and 2 of your contrast color. About half of the sizes, you need 2 of your main color and 1 of your contrast color. Where do I want to go next? So Joyce mentioned at the beginning that she's working on pressed flowers socks. If you are part of the Craft Along with the Little Yarn Shop Facebook group, you probably have seen posts in there about this. If you're not, you can request to join. And we would be happy to add you to it. It's kind of where we post about things that we're doing together. And then a lot of times, some of you will post. Holly and I think Nicole and Melissa have posted in there just what you're working on, which is awesome. I love it. So there is a designer who has a whole series of patterns called pressed flowers. I'm sure you've seen quite a few of them around, but most of them, all of them, have this mosaic stitch pattern in there. She has a hat, a scarf, a pullover, a cardigan, socks. A cowl. Did I say that already? A bunch of different options. I don't think there are gloves or mittens. I don't recall seeing that. But the quite a few of the ladies here have decided that they're going to collectively be working on pressed flowers projects. So Deb and Ashley and Vicky, and there are a couple others that I can't think of right off the top of my head, are working on the cardigan. Oh, I don't know why I just got fireworks. That was interesting. Oh, I never know. Maybe it's because I talk with my hands too much. Ah, that was hilarious. I deserve fireworks, so why not? So Deb and Ashley left their swatches with me. So this one that I showed in a little bit ago is Ashley's swatch. So it calls for a sport or a DK weight yarn. This uses two colors of Malabrigo Arroyo. I love how it looks. It's all mosaic. So no stranded, you're not using two colors at a time. It's simply just slip stitches. The maximum number of stitches you're slipping is 3. Otherwise, it's got these little bumps throughout the whole thing. So Ashley is using her main color is VAA, and it's like that greeny blue. And then her flower color is Flama, which is this beautiful pinky orange green loveliness. It just, those flowers just pop in there. I think it's so, so gorgeous. Joyce is doing socks. Stacy is doing a cowl. I'm not sure who else. Shawl, cardigan, hat, cowl, socks, pullover. Oh, vest. I forgot the vest. Oh, and shawl. I had it all wrong, you guys. Oh, that's why we love Melissa. Deb's is a little more subtle, at least at the beginning for her swatch, but you can still see the beautiful, beautiful colors. Her flower color is actually our custom gradient for this year, the Brenda and Heather Tea with Friends DK weight gradient. So again, as you can see on their label, they show how the skein is going to go from light to dark. So when she started swatching, her burgundy this is the darkest part of the Brenda and Heather yarn. So even there, you can still see the difference. She did bring, let me get it. I have to reach. So Deb started hers. It's bottom up. She's alternating 2 skeins of the solid, which is Earth Harvest in Black Grape, Harvest DK. And then there's her first cake of the gradient for our Tea with Friends this year's color. But you can see more of the transition into the lighter colors as she's moving through this. So, because obviously she's going to use more than one ball of the gradient, I don't know if she's going to go like dark to light, then light to dark. I haven't asked her about that, but you'll see kind of these repeat gradient. She has a provisional cast on hers. It does not call for a provisional cast on for the bottom ribbing, but she's not sure in terms of yardage, how much yarn she's going to have left for that bottom ribbing. So instead of starting with that ribbing, she put this provisional cast on so she can go back, pick up her stitches and knit down with what she's got left. But I'm glad she left this with me because you can start to see the color changing, which I think is really, really fun. So that's the Pressed Flowers cardigan. And so, yeah, quite a few of you are working on that. And so you're welcome to come Monday nights to get help, work on swatches, pick out yarn, get going on that. She did, I think, post in there that they'll be working on it Thursday evenings also for social knitting. Just, I try to say this every once in a while. Please keep in mind Thursday nights, Deb is sort of officially off duty. So if you are coming to get quite a bit of help on things, try and keep that in mind and pop in on a Monday night or on a Saturday when she's here in official capacity. I'm sure she would love to help otherwise, but we want her to have her downtime too. So that's the pressed flowers. And in talking about the gradient from Brenda and Heather, we got our second batch in on Saturday. The mail guy came in and brought us happy deliveries. So we got our second batch of the DK weight Tea with Friends, which is what we used for the crochet and the knit cowls, 1 skein for the gradient cowls. I put in a special request this time for them to also dye up some shawl balls. So these are fingering weight, 170 grams, 840 yards. of a gradient, of one continuous gradient. So I love that they put pictures on here. So this is what it's going to look like if you were to knit it in a typical triangular top-down shawl. These ladies love math. So the way they design their shawl balls to transition colors is if you're doing a typical triangular shawl, when you first start, your rows are shorter. And so one color typically would get you a longer section. As your rows get longer, your shawl gets wider. If you were to knit with a traditional gradient, your stripes would get narrower and narrower. They have done all the math. So when you knit, all your stripes are going to stay the same width throughout. I started a shawl with one of their yarns quite a few years ago and never finished it. I wish I did, because then I would have actually something to show you all. But I did come up with a couple good shawl patterns that would work really well for this, because it's one big, gorgeous hank of yarn. I wound one so you can see what it would look like in the cake itself. It's a little bit brighter on that side. So you wouldn't necessarily have to start. Well, yes, you would. If you wanted it to come out the same way you were doing a triangular shawl, you would start with the light color and work out toward the dark. Took my brain a minute to wrap myself around that math of things. So one of these is one of these. And that is, I mean, look at that. It's almost as big as my head. That's a lot of yarn on one of those. If you're a crocheter, Nicole was talking about the mint leaf shawl. Is a triangular crochet shawl that's got like these, it almost looks like ripply waves to me throughout it. This would work really well for that. There is also a crochet shawl called Royal Attire. And I think that one's really cool because it starts at a point, kind of like an asymmetrical shawl would do, but it grows in both directions. And it's just a really unique shape, and a really unique design for a crocheted shawl. So I'm kind of contemplating maybe doing something like that with this yarn, because I think it's pretty cool too. For knitters, if you wanted a simple shawl, the triangle garter tab shawl is actually written for the shawl ball yarns. I can't remember if it's Brenda or Heather that wrote that pattern, but they do have a couple others as well that they've written for these big skein shawl balls. I was playing around with the idea of using something like the shawl ball for either a magical thinking and all points south, or some of the rectangular projects that Casapinka has, maybe using it for two of the 3 or 4 colors, depending on what the project is. Like, I think it would be really neat for the magical thinking or the all points south, which are an over the head shawl, poncho, not a poncho. If you've heard, we've talked about them before. Instead of it being 3 separate colors, using this and then one contrast color and alternating a little bit differently that way, I think it would be pretty cool. So lots of options. And I know when I first got the DK weight yarn, there were questions about us getting it in fingering weight. So now we have it in fingering weight too. Just a big old shawl ball. You could also knit a top out of it. 840 yards would get you kind of a cute little sleeveless top if you were doing a top down where you just have the cap sleeves binding off and doing the body. You would be able to get that full gradient too, which would be kind of fun. So we got that here in the shop. Other new yarns. We did get a batch of yarns from Wonderland in the last couple weeks. If you're here in the shop, you have seen it. You may have already snagged some because we're getting low already, but we got some more of their confetti tweed, which is a fingering weight superwash wool tweed sparkle. yarn. So this is the last of our entirely bonkers gold color. You can, it's always hard to show the sparkle. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. Sherry, they do have different colors of the shawl balls. The our custom color is the only one that we have in the shop now. Um, they they do quite a few different colors though. Yeah, we haven't gotten any other ones from them in a while. I probably need to do that. So we have a couple, we have 3 skeins left of this insolent orchid, they call it. Oh, there, now you can see the sparkle in that. Look at that sparkle. And the sparkle that they use for this yarn is not one color. Like it's not gold, it's not silver. It's almost like a rainbowy. So you'll see blue sparkle, red sparkle, gold sparkle. And then the tweed in there too is obviously the different colors. So that's the purple insolent orchid. These are 35 a piece. They have 437 yards on them. I know this purple is gorgeous. So I've got 3 of those left. I have 2 of the goat's beard. This I've had in the shop before, and if you look right there, I can grab it. I did a brioche 2-color shawl. With the dark gray is smushy cashmere. And then the goat's beard is the contrast color, but you can see all the little confetti tweedy pieces coming through and a little bit of the sparkle. This is the goat's beard gray. And that purple just really shows the sparkle more than the lighter colors do. You can still see it a little bit though. So we've got 2 of the goat's beard left. And then this, for not being much of a taupey girl, I'm kind of on a taupe kick with my bamboo pop sock, but that was because the dice made me do it. But I got this color called Gravel Walk. And it's like a brown, gray, green. It's just beautiful. It looks like gravel. I guess that's the whole point behind the name. But it just has so much subtle variation in it. I hate when the ties are sticking out and makes it look sloppy. This is gorgeous. We've got quite a bit of this because apparently I ordered an extra bag thinking I was going to make myself something. I don't have any notes about what I was going to make, but I was going to make something out of this. So the gravel walk, we have plenty of that. And it's just gorgeous. So that's some of the new yarns we got from Wonderland. We got some new yarns from Gusto Wool. Gusto is owned by Earth Yarns. It's kind of a sister company. It's milled in Turkey and hand dyed. We got 2 of their different, the base is the same in terms of makeup, like 80% merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams, 440 yards, but the dye technique is different. So some of them are Carmen sock, which look like this. This one is this bright neon yellow. Look at how fun that is. I love it. We got 3 colors of this. This is color 1401. I wish they gave them fun names. So I'll show you the 3 colors and then I will show you what a sock would look like knit up with this so you can visualize. It's hard to tell what this would do based on the way the skein looks. So that was 1401. 1402 is this beautiful, half the skein is navy and half of it is this pink and yellow speckle with some oranges, some blues in there. And then 1404, my hair is everywhere, you guys. half the skein is like the speckly purple with red in it, and then the other half is just very, very multicolored. So if you were to look at this skein, the way they dye it is when it's laid out like this in the dye pot, a whole bunch of them together. Half of the skein is dyed in that kind of solid color and half is dyed in the speckle. That doesn't mean you're going to knit up half your yarn and have it be purple and the other half is going to be speckle. What it would look like if you knit socks is this. I'm pretty good at being able to look at yarn and visualizing what it's going to do. And now that I've seen this, I can add that to my file reference bank, but I wouldn't have thought that on its own. So this is actually this colorway. So essentially what you're getting if you knitted socks, if you knit socks with this is you would get one row of the solid, one row of the speckle. And then when you hold it back from a distance, you can see like this spiral that goes down. This is one skein. So if you had little feet, you could do knee-high socks out of one skein. Again, 440 yards. So we've got a few of these left. You could do anything with it, Holly. It's just going to be, I'm not quite sure what how it would pool is going to be determined by the number of stitches that you have. So, like Nicole knit, I don't know if it was dyed like this, but it was similar. Nicole knit a hat where it kind of did a spiral all the way up it. I think maybe that was more like the assigned pooling that she just didn't do a different stitch, just knit it. I can't remember. So many things, you guys. I try to remember them all. One thing you could do is you could go on Ravelry and instead of looking at a pattern search, you could look at a yarn search. And if you looked up Carmen by Gusto Wool, you could go in and see what projects are out there. The difficulty with that is I think I looked a little bit. A lot of people have done socks and a lot of people did things where they used it along with other yarns. So it still doesn't give you a great visual of like if you just knit a top with this yarn, what it would look like. That is kind of, I'm not quite sure. That would be kind of a trial and error thing. So those are the three colors of the Carmen that we got in. And then I got one color of Nocta, which is their just variegated speckled yarn. And it's just beautiful, you guys. Look at this. This is the one I was talking about. A lot of you have seen it sitting on the table if you've been in the last week and a half or so. But I love this speckle so much, especially this little, like these tealy turquoise bits down there. But the purples, or I mean the pinks and the blues and the yellows, it's just all, it makes me very happy. So I really want to do a slipping sideways with this as my contrast color. And this color as my main color. And no, I'm not going to roll the dice for this one because I already have the yarn in mind. But look at this, you guys. I mean, if somebody else wants it, I will give it up because then I can see what it's going to look like knit up, even if somebody else does it. But so this would be two skeins of the Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the color Nassau Blue. And then one of the speckles. I just think, wouldn't that just be gorgeous? It would be so, so beautiful. I guess you would see the colors going this way, but bright and happy and fun and mom's rallying for all the things for her. For if you're watching on YouTube, you wouldn't see the comments. She says, I love those colors. You can knit it for me. My mom says that. So I could do that too. I should knit for other people more. I get selfish sometimes and just knit for myself. So we do have 4 skeins left of this color, the 1215 in with the Gusto wool. So as always, if you see something that I talk about that you want, put it in the comments and let us know if it's something you want us to ship to you or if you want to pick it up here in the store. We're happy to do that either way. Okay. That's the new yarn. Joyce has an upcoming class for the, why can't I think of the name of the hat? I have it here. No, I don't have it there either. But the technique is for ladder back jacquard. It's going to be on Thursdays, starting August 15th, so a week from this Thursday, and it's a 3-week class. And ladder back jacquard is a technique that you use when you're doing stranded color work and you have really long floats, times between when you're All Hallows hat. There we go. Between when you're using a certain color. So this is the project. I believe we still have spots left in the class. The class costs includes the yarn that you need for the project and 1 skein each. So this is kind of a crazy thing too, you guys. So Chris, did you discuss your top? Yes, this is the slipping sideways. I talked about it at the beginning and then I just mentioned it too. So you should be able to scroll back, Chris, and look at the links, but I'm sure Melissa will catch it and probably link it again for you. So this is what we talk about sometimes about how when you see, especially with Malabrigo, if you see a skein of yarn where you love the color, get it, because you never know what we're going to get next time. This background color is Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Flama. This is Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Flama. 2 different dye lots, 2 completely different batches. Both are gorgeous in their own way. But if you saw this and thought that's what you were going to get if you ordered it, and this is what came, or vice versa, you would be maybe a bit surprised, or, you know, it's a little bit different. So this is a great example of if you see yarn, especially Malabrigo, and you love the color, grab it, because who knows what it's going to be next time. I actually got 2 bags this time and they look different as well. So, fortunately for Ashley, this is perfect for her sweater. This wouldn't quite have the same kind of flowery look, but it's perfect for this jack-o'-lantern hat. So it's a 3-week class because one of the first things that you're going to do is a 2-color cast on, and then the corrugated ribbing, a 2-color corrugated ribbing. So Joyce will go through that before getting into the stranding ladder back technique. So that is coming up. Okay, I think that is, I covered everything except the drawings for the Heartland Yarn Adventure. So if for some reason you have your stamped book for the Heartland Yarn Adventure and you did not get a chance to turn it into us by yesterday, let me know, put it in the comments and tag specifically either Melissa or myself in your comment, or I guess tag the shop too, so we know for sure. But I'm going to be mailing those out tomorrow. So if for some reason you didn't get yours in and you still have it and need to get it to us, just let me know and I can make sure that I communicate that to the organizers, because we want to get that out to them as soon as possible. They have a lot to do on the back end in getting that ready. So the prizes, I didn't have the bag out, but I did the same thing last time and I decided to pull a bag to dump all the drawing slips into, and then we'll give this away too. So we've got a project bag from Sew Together by Bee, a little zipped bag with a handle. It's got kind of a flat bottom on it. So this is all of the prize drawing slips from the Heartland Yarn Adventure. I think we had more people the first day of the Yarn Adventure this year than we had the entire 10 days last year, which is awesome. Lots of new people. So all of that is going in there. Yes, keep your fingers crossed. Brenda crossing her fingers in there. So the first prize that we're going to draw for is going to be for the bag. So this is a $32 prize. And the winner of the bag is Anne DePaw. Awesome. Congratulations, Anne. We will be reaching out to you this week, ideally this week. It might be next week. I know Anne's been in the shop a few times, so we'll be excited to get that to her. And I think she's out of town, so we'll have to arrange getting that out. All right, the second prize is 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn from Madeline Tosh. This is their Tosh Twist. Nope, Twist Light fingering weight based yarn. You guys, it's been a long day. Fingering weight yarn. It doesn't come with a pattern, but you know, there are a gazillion 2-color patterns out there. If you look on the Ravelry page for the Little Yarn Shop, in our favorites, there are bundles, and one of them is for 2-color projects. Not all fingering weight, but it's kind of a good place to look if you don't have anything specific you're looking for. But they do have a little envelope in here with some stickers and some other fun little swag. So 2 skeins of Twist Light from Madeline Tosh. And let's see who that one goes to. It's all up good. This one goes to Carla Gernert. Carla was new to the shop this year. I met her when she came in, and I again love to see new faces. So congratulations, Carla. She was all excited because she saw some Barocco Talara, which is very close to her name, which is very unusual. So again, we will be reaching out. Next, oh, let's see, what should I do? The yarn or the twist shorties? We'll do the yarn first. We'll do the twist shorties last. So this time we've got a bag of 10 balls of one of Barocco's new yarns. This is Barocco Vernaza. It is a linen cotton viscose blended yarn. And it's kind of a chainette with a core yarn in there. And then you get a pattern book with 6 different patterns for this yarn. As a reminder, if you win this and you need more, or you want a contrast color, anything like that, let us know and we can custom order that for you. So that one. So maybe I should pull one from the top instead of pulling them all from the bottom, since they've all mixed up. Holly Wonderly. Awesome. Congrats, Holly. Holly, I know, is local, so I don't have to ship anything to her. So super cool. I love it when it's people that we know. I mean, I love it when we get to give stuff away no matter what. So that's exciting. Congrats, Holly. Tell John it's worth watching. Okay, and the last one is a set of Chaigu twist shorties. This is another red set. So they are the 2-inch and 3-inch tips and cords for sizes 0 to 3. And this is pretty, all of these are pretty good prizes. So last one, I'll switch hands. This one is going to Susan. Something that starts with a W is her last name. W-I-Z. Wazinski, maybe. But I've got a name and a phone number and an email address. So Susan, congratulations. We will be reaching out to you. Jody, sorry, it wasn't your name that stuck on those needles. But, you know, I'm hoping that Chaigu continues to support us in the future, and that when we have special events like this, we really appreciate the fact that Chaigu and Barocco and Madeline Tosh donated prizes for both yarn crawls for us to be able to give things away. So super exciting. Congratulations to all of you who won. And thank you to everybody who participated in the yarn crawls, came in, supported us, supported other shops. It it really was a fun event, and we love to see new people, and we love to see, I love to watch new customers experience our shop because we love our shop a lot and we think it's a great place to be and has a great atmosphere, and we love it when new people get to experience that too. So lots of crocheters this year, which was awesome. Okay, that is all I have tonight. I went a little bit longer than I normally do, but I think it was totally worth it. We had a lot to talk about tonight. So I hope everybody has a good week. I plan on being back on a regular schedule now, at least through the month of August. Come September, when I am traveling, I will not be doing my lives, at least not at the normal time or way. But for now, for the month of August, we will be back to our normally scheduled programs of Monday evenings at 7 o'clock. So have a great week. If we don't see you here in the shop, then we'll see you next Monday right here on Facebook and YouTube. And what else? Keep being creative. Start things, finish things, rip things out if they're not making you happy anymore. Come in and hang out with us. Yes, Ciambella. Oh, I want to go to Italy so bad. Someday soon I'll get there. But Sarah, you'll already be here. So I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you all